Welcome back to the show, and now I'm getting into the second half of the topics for this episode, the second episode of Wellington's Y Zone. I wanted to get into Nikola Jokic and his contract extension, him not signing it this offseason, sources say. The Nuggets had anticipated that Jokic might prefer to wait until 2026 when he can earn more money in a contract extension. By the Denver Post by Bennett Durando. He's also informed the Nuggets that he's not going to be signing the extension this offseason. And he's waiting until next summer to kind of engage in contract talks. He's got a minimum of 2 years remaining on his current Supermax contract, as well as a player option for the 2027 to 28 season. Tuesday was the first day he was eligible for an extension that would add up to 3 years and an estimated 207 million to that deal. Um, he can't take on an extra season and earn an additional 80 million approximately by pushing off an extension until the 2026 offseason. And yeah, it's one of those things. Money's on the table. He can. I wouldn't be worried if I was a Nuggets fan. He can sign that max extension next summer, and he'd still be good. I think when we look at the Nuggets, he's their centerpiece. He's their foundation. He's their core. He's extended them so greatly. A team that was just not up to par for like to go far, and they fired their coach a few days before the playoffs start and pushes them 7 games into the Clippers. You know what I mean? Wins against the Clippers, and I fully think, and then pushes them to a 7 game series. Was it I believe it was a 7 game series against OKC. It was a 7 game series against OKC. If my memory serves me well, and ladies and gentlemen, hey, just know, I don't have my own research team yet. I don't have my own research team yet. Let's look at OKC and Denver. Yeah, the Thunder 7 games. They went in 7 games, so they're able to get past the Clippers, and then they're able to go push the OKC to 7. So I mean, yeah, man, like I fully think that this team knows that Jokic is their centerpiece. That it's a no brainer, their foundation, and he's got to be present for them to go past to go to the next heights of where they want to be, and that's gonna happen. I feel like that's gonna happen. Um, you know, I've always felt that this is a type of team that can go really far when you have a guy like Nikola Jokic, but Jamal Murray has to be more consistent. He has to be more consistent. Aaron Gordon sometimes is the second best player to me. And I think Jamal Murray has to be that second best player, even get close to it to just really have them get back to the marks of 2023. So keep your eye out on that. I wanted to get to obviously big news. The Thunder signed Chet Holmgren to a 5 year max extension that could be worth 250 million after a first NBA title. And he averaged 15 points, 8 rebounds in 32 games with the team during the regular season, improved on those numbers in the team's playoff run, averaging 15.2 points and 8.7 rebounds in 23 postseason games. And injuries have been obviously a problem for him. He missed his entire rookie season after battling that injury in his left foot. And, 5 blocks in a game 7. Oh my goodness, come on. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Que pasa? Que pasa? Come on. So good. So good. I mean, come on. Like that's uh that's what they say in The Godfather. Um, leave the gun, take the cannoli. Leave the gun, take the cannoli, or take the. I think it's leave the gun, take the cannoli. I love The Godfather. I always do certain quotes about that movie and that franchise. I love that franchise. But yeah, like I mean, when we look at it, it's just kind of like, how are you gonna say that something is messed up? Um, with the Thunder's core, or how are you gonna say like the Thunder like really just like aren't that team yet when you kind of have like a team that can actually get really scary. They can get really scary. I'm not saying they're going to be like runaway like dominant dynasty people, but it's just like, yo, they're just warming up. This team that's just warming up. Um, I think the difference between them and the Nuggets from 2 years ago is that the Nuggets like it wasn't like this overwhelming thing with the Nuggets at some point. It was like, they were good, but it's like with the Thunder at some point it was like became overwhelming. Like they were like dominant, like 67 wins dominant. And I got to look back at like what I'm not going to look at it now, but what the Nuggets like regular season was in 2023. But like the Thunder were dominant at one point, where it's like, yo, this is a historically great team. And Jalen Williams, I saw that you know, he played through an injury, played through a injured wrist, and he didn't do the LeBron where he just like, oh man, like just got the cast on, gotta show it off, gotta show off that I'm struggling. Like, come on, I mean, I love LeBron, but I mean, sometimes he's just so dramatic. I'm like, guy, man, we get it, we get it, man. Like, you were injured, but you don't have to like show the whole world. Yeah, like this wrist, man, come on, like. Like, when he's on page one of every book, about Malcolm X, he's just like, they said, so what do you think about the book? Like what's your takeaways from this man? He's like, very, very smart man. Very, 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 very smart man. I was like, wow. Analysis on 10,000. He's spamming very like, he was a very, 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 very smart man. Very smart man. Whoa. That's all I can say. I need to stop before the Bron clan and the Bron fanites come after me. But I think that that's a great fit, and a great move for the Thunder. Obviously, extending Holmgren into his prime years and making sure that he's locked up with them, and that team's just going to continue to build. Um, Last topic I wanted to get to was Brad Stevens and the Celtics. He's vehemently said that they're not entering a rebuild. And this was his first time speaking to the media this past Tuesday since trading away Drew Holiday and obviously Kristaps Porzingis. And it's a word that he doesn't even want to enter into the franchise's mind. He doesn't even want them to think that. He said he's going with the word retool, and he said, quote, the reality is that we knew going to this year, regardless of how it ended, we would have hard decisions to make because of the penalties, where this apron is, and where we've been the last few years. We were in the last few years, and now it's kicked in 3 years after the CBA started. Um, yeah, and so to explain the apron, they're in the second apron for two straight years, and they're not only facing the lofty repeaters tax, but also restrictions in how Stevens could build the roster in the future. And this is a lot of like money talk, so if I bore you, I'm sorry, but it's pretty much it's a directive to maximize effort assets so the Celtics can retool as quickly as possible. Um, and when it comes to Bill Chisholm, the new owner, he is not he hasn't been trying to strip down the team's payroll or anything like that. So, I mean, they just had to cut some people. They had to cut some people. They had a strict, financial and just rhetoric they had to follow, and that's just where they're at right now. But I mean, do I think the Celtics are going to retool or rebuild? I don't think they're going to be bad. I mean, they're going to be a feisty, competitive team, a lower seeded team. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, I believe they have if I'm not mistaken, they have Anthony Simons, one of the players from Portland. Let's look at what the Celtics have done through the pickup. Celtics pickups in 2025. So yeah, the Celtics I think they're retooling. I think they're rebuilding. Um, you know, yeah, to look at this, obviously they got Hugo Gonzalez, Amari Williams, and Max Suga. Um, and it's with what they did with Drew Holiday sending him to the Kings, they're having to send people off. They're having to send people off. And that's just one of the things that's the way the cookie crumbles. You win a championship, then it's back to the drawing board. They get Anthony Simons, and they also pick up George Niang. It's not a bad move. These aren't bad moves at the end of the day, and I think they just had to retool, and that's what I'm gonna say retools as well. I don't think they're gonna like really go into tank, but I think they're gonna be a competitive, scrappy team, and Jaylen Brown's gonna be like, yo, let me get this thing going. Let me show who I am. I think Jaylen Brown is ready to show who he is for the Celtics, for the Boston Celtics. So those are my takeaways with that. All I got for tonight. All I got for tonight. Another night episode. I'm trying to get back to doing day episodes. I've just been so swamped, so busy. Um, yeah. So more on the way. I got some more interviews loading up. I'm gonna try to do like an episode talking about recalculating my mixtape, just a full-fledged episode talking about that process for you guys. But that wraps it up for tonight. I'm your host, Wellington Burns. This has been Wellington's Y Zone. See you next time.